Now on the action side,
Oh yeah.
I've been reading your daily
Oh.
meditations, right? And
Uh-huh.
I thought, well, we're doing a lot of contemplation, but what about action? And then the next day you came out with a Dorothy Day part, and then
Oh
Chavez,
yeah.
um, and when I'm thinking of action, though, I see quite a spectrum. Like there's a sort of
Yes.
protest activism, but
Yes.
also relief and development, but maybe also whatever it is to do justice in the world. Could you unpack some of that? What action
Yeah.
means to you?
First of all, you notice that I put it first in our title, precisely because I feared what has often happened. People who are more interior people or see religion as an interior thing entirely uh, want to avoid the action component. It's been people like the Mennonites who've kept us from that. But that's never been mainline Christianity, I'm sorry to say. We like to separate religion from engagement or embodiment,
Mm.
incarnation. Um, so, first of all, I try to distinguish action from activism. I don't believe everybody is called to be an activist. And by that I mean that they are really called to be on the front line of protest or opposing the system. A lot of people just can't handle that intellectually or emotionally or relationally. They have to, I tell them, at least withdraw their loyalty from the idolatrous systems. It's enough to just convince them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But do they have to actively go out and oppose it on a weekly, monthly basis? Not necessarily. That's what I call activism. But they better give their moral, spiritual support to people who do feel called to that. Someone has got to be doing the work of Dorothy Day and Cesar Chavez, you know. And we better know how to tell people that's the gospel too.
Mm.
That's what's so wonderful about Pope Francis right now, that we got this coming from the highest levels. Uh, but by the word action itself, I largely mean embodiment, incarnation, that this can't just remain theory. This belief system that you have can't just remain a belief system. It has to somehow engage your behavior, your politics, your pocketbook, your way of situating yourself in this world. Now, admittedly, you know, when I started this center 29 years ago, I used to teach all the interns who'd come. We'd take them down to live with the poor in Juarez across the border. I pretty much taught 50-50, liberation theology and contemplative practice. I think it's probably honest to say that now 85% of what I teach is just unlearning lousy theology
Mm.
and teaching contemplative practice, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just constantly an obstacle to, I mean, things like the lousy atonement theory,
Yeah.
which just has such horrible implications, you know, for the nature of God and the nature of the divine human relationship and so forth. So, because God gave me this certain gift of teaching and articulating, I said, okay, I guess that's my gift.
Mm.
And I seldom go to a protest march here in the city anymore. And I've incurred a lot of criticism for that too. I support and encourage all the people who do it, but they could eat me up every week. Just this is your job to show your face at all these things.
Right.
You know, uh, I hope plenty of people are doing it, and I do it once in a while. But I'm not an activist anymore.
Mm.
But I hope my lifestyle is showing that it's got to affect my behavior, the way I vote, the way I use my money, the way I relate, the way I care, and what I care about in this world. Frankly, it changes your politics. You know, you're much more concerned about the least of the brothers and sisters than the top of the brothers and sisters. In fact, if I don't see that, I really question whether there has been the software change up here.
Mm.
If I don't see some kind of alignment with powerlessness,
Mm.
some kind of a new understanding of this preferential side, as we Catholics are saying anymore, of the gospel, I don't think they've got the whole gospel yet. So for me, it's the test case that the whole thing has taken shape. That there's this switching of alignment to an idealization of war and money and power and beautiful people. And that just stops losing its interest. It almost just happens automatically. Every year, the more you become a contemplative and you see image of God, image of God, image of God, image of God, and the good-looking people don't have it more than the handicapped people. Yeah. That's the test.